Thank you for your energy and look forward to be having a power-packed session. Please take your seat. Thank you, industry leaders, for joining this afternoon for this industry forum.
All the students are requested to please maintain pin drop silence now. Please maintain the decorum of the audience, please. It's my humble request. We are about to start the session.
Patience and perseverance have a magical effect before which difficulties disappear and obstacles vanish. With these powerful words, John Quincy Adams reminds us of the transformative power of consistent effort over time. And that's precisely what we'll be discussing today as we embark on this exciting journey at the Industry Forum on Innovating Together Industry Academia Convergence in Next Gen Tech.
A very warm and gracious afternoon to our esteemed dignitaries, distinguished panelists, respected faculty members, and my dear friends. I am Tanya, and alongside my esteemed co host Manvi, we have the immense privilege of being your host today. We are thrilled to welcome you all to this remarkable occasion. This forum is a prestigious platform presented by the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering and the Corporate Resource Center of the Amity School of Engineering and Technology. It's an integral part of the 12th edition of the International Conference SPIN 2025, an event that epitomizes Amity's commitment to academic excellence, industry collaboration, and cutting edge innovation.
This forum is a convergence of bright minds and pioneering ideas, where academia meets industry and where students like us gain invaluable opportunity to interact with and learn from the trailblazers shaping the future of technology. At Amity, we take pride in blending the vibrancy of contemporary practices with the richness of timeless traditions. As part of our cherished customs, we extend a heartfelt welcome to our distinguished guests by presenting them with a sacred Tulsi sapling. This meaningful gesture symbolizes not only our respect for the ancient values that guide us, but also a commitment to fostering enduring relationships.
The Tulsi, revered for its spiritual and medicinal significance, represents purity, growth, and harmony, qualities that resonate deeply with our ethos. By offering this sapling, we celebrate the deepening bond between us and our guests, nurturing a connection that we hope will flourish and thrive, much like the sacred plant itself.
May I kindly request Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Pandey, sir, General Chair of SPIN 2025, Director of Amity School of Engineering and Technology, and Professor Dr. Madhuri Kumari Ma'am, Deputy Director of Placements and Industry Relations, to graciously present the saplings to our esteemed panelists. I also request our distinguished panelists to please come forward to receive this token of our appreciation and respect. Dr. Vinuja Varma, Principal Scientist, TCS. May I request Professor Dr. J.K. Rai, sir, to please join. Next, we have Mr. Gaurav Ranade, CTO, Netpolian India.
Now, to formally inaugurate this event, I am honored to invite Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Pandey Sir, General Chair of SPIN 2025, Director of Amity School of Engineering and Technology, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, and the guiding force behind this prestigious forum. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all. Good afternoon. Our guest for today on the dais, Mr. Tarun Singhal, Dr. Binuja Verma, Mr. Gaurav, my dear colleagues on the dais, off the dais, and dear students. For the information of all, this session is the part of the international conference, 2 days international conference on signal processing. We had inaugurated this in the morning with the representation, the people from industry and academia, and many of the speakers, the keynote speakers, the contributing speakers, and many more, those who are attending this 2 days conference. And the industry session, as being a very important part of every conference that is happening in Amity School of Engineering and Technology. And so this session is on innovating together industry academia convergence in next gen technology. So how we can converge, how the technology is converging, and how the skill force, the new professionals we should prepare who can take the challenge of the changing scenario of the industry. And now we have in front of you the leaders from the industry. Those they have the big experience, the great experience on their areas of expertise. And they are here to guide you, to tell you, and to mentor us how we should now get skilled, what strategy we should follow. In the morning, we had very good sessions, and there we learned that one of our speaker told, the lifelong learning is the only way if you want to keep yourself updated. And whatever we learn here or you learn here during your this course of formal education in your programs, say BTech computer or BTech any other stream or electronics and communication engineering, you need to do additional. You need to add some flavor onto it if you want to remain relevant to the industry needs and the industry trends. So now in front of you today we had the representation from the various industries, those who really want to share their thoughts, their experience to you, and so that you can well verse with all the skills that will be required once you come out of your colleges. And you know that the India is a big market and India is a big potential country. And the mandate given by our Honorable Prime Minister of the country and any other leaders of the country, our Honorable Founder President of the universe, the mandate clearly says we need to come out of the comfort zone. And we need to do something additional, something extra, if you want to make this country as a great country. And that we have a great legacy in the past as well. So rather than becoming the consumer of what the world has made for us, we are now set and we should look forward to create, to develop the things which the world is ready to use. And that mandate is again in front of us. And we are the part of this pursuit. And we want to contribute in this mission and vision so that we can also make our country and we can also contribute to make our country as a developed nation in time to come. So with this, once again, I would welcome to all the industry guests of this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating address. Next, I'd like to invite Professor Dr. J.K. Rai, sir, Conference Chair SPIN 2025 and Head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to share his thoughts with us. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So it's my privilege here to be part of this industry forum, which is organized at the time of 12th International Conference on Signal Processing and Integrated Networks. I extend my warm welcome and convey my sincere gratitude to our industry guests today, Professor Tarun Singhal, Director Business Development, Marketing and Branding, Sopra Steria, India, Mr. Gaurav Ranade, CTO, Netpolian, India, and Dr. Binuja Verma, Principal Scientist, TCS. When we come to this industry forum, I would like to tell all my industry guests and my dear students, it's long back when we started the SPIN in 2014, in first or the second edition, Honorable Vice Chancellor shared us after the inaugural session when we were having some high tea and we were discussing something. At that time, our Vice Chancellor ma'am said that industry representation is missing in this conference long back, 2012, 14 or 15, somewhere there. And from then onwards, we started having the industry session in all our conferences with support of our CRC team. So I convey my special thanks to the CRC team also for organizing this industry forum in all the spins thereafter. The objective for organizing this industry forum is to bridge the gap between the industry and the academia. And I was discussing with one of the guests just before this session. This is exactly what we were discussing. And whatever best we do to bridge this gap will never be bridged. This is also true. But as an engineer, we take it as an optimization problem where we try to minimize the gap between the academia and the industry. And that's the reason we hold this industry forum during this conference, where we have many research discussions in the field of signal processing and integrated networks. I would also like to inform all my distinguished guests from the industry that now we do have participation of industry people in our conference by contributing research papers also, besides invited talks. So from that day onwards, we ensure that industry is not missing from a SPIN. And this is happening with the help of support of all industry guests who have joined over a period of time. So I will not take much time. I will simply urge my students to listen to each word spoken here very carefully, and with them comes a lot of experience which they have learned over a period of time with their experience, and they have kindly agreed to grace this occasion and share their knowledge and experience. Each word of them will be very valuable and we will be learning a lot from their experience within a short span of time. So I extend my warm welcome once again to all the industry guests. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now, it's my privilege to invite Dr. Madhuri Kumari ma'am, Deputy Director of Placement and Industrial Relations at Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. Let's all extend a warm round of applause as she takes the stage.
Thank you so much. And here now, with permission of everyone here on the stage, would begin the panel discussion on the very relevant topic for all of you, my dear students particularly. How together industry and academia need to innovate so that we are future ready? How in this emerging technology world where every day the technology is moving forward leaps and bounds, what is that academia has to do, how fast they have to run, what strategy they have to adopt so that they can catch up with the industry requirement. So my dear students, I will request your attention out here. Kindly put your mobile down, or maybe you can look at your mobile to look for some of the next gen technology so that you can ask some relevant questions to our power packed panelists out here and get an insight of how well you have to be prepared. In morning, when we started the inaugural session, there were messages that came in from each guest of honor and chief guest that you all, the youth of India, has to really gear up so that you contribute the most towards the vision of Prime Minister 2047. We are going to be developed nation. And that is possible way before, not 2047, but much before, if you all gear up, if you all understand, if you take the challenge in your stride. And that is what we are here to discuss today, to give you an insight of how you can be future ready. You do have academia, which is gearing up, getting ready. Every semester on semester, we try to bridge the gap. And as very rightly said by Professor Rai, that it is an engineering problem of optimization. Zero gap is, yes, every one of us will agree, will not be achieved. Industry, academia is going to stay as they are. Otherwise, industry is equal to academia. That is not really going to be happening. So if it is not going to be happening, what is the optimal way? So optimal way is that as you are attending the classes, that's one thing. But what is that you have to be really looking at? And in the words of Dr. Abhilasha, CEO of NASCOM, who was giving the speech in inaugural, I would say the vanilla flavor of your degrees are not really going to work. You really have to put the cherries on it. And what's that cherry? That's what industry dictates. You opt, you choose for it, and then you decide what you look for yourself after 1 year, after 5 years, after 10 years. And then accordingly, you decorate your vanilla, the degree, so that it is so ready that you start jumping into what you want to be 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years from now, right? So that is something, a great takeaway that you should have at the end of this session. So for the benefit of panelists, I would like to just explain how we are going to take forward this panel discussion. With the introduction to the panelists, I will hand over the mic in the first round to each of the panelists, requesting their view on this topic of how industry and academia has to come together and what is that industry is working on when we talk about emerging technologies, and what is their advice to our future engineers, how they can equip themselves so that you think that they are going to be relevant for you all out here. So with that note, let's move on to the panelists. Probably in the sequence we will move. We have Mr. Gaurav Ranade immediately on the left-hand side, on my left-hand side. He is Chief Technology Officer at Netpolian India. And yes, very interestingly, he is also pursuing his PhD in cybersecurity. Okay. Mr. Ranade is a recognized industry leader in digital transformation and cybersecurity. He had attended and had won accolades in number of CIOs. Forum had got CIO awards and Stellar CXO award. He has spearheaded many projects, and the major projects include Delhi Safe City, T-Fiber, Indian Railways SOC, solidifying his role as a thought leader. in digital transformation. So, with that small note, may I request Mr. Gaurav to share his experience in terms of readiness of the future engineers for the emerging technologies at organization.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. And thank you, Mr. Pandey, for having me in this forum. I hope I am audible to the last, right? I think there are three stakeholders in this entire ecosystem. One is academia, one is industry, and the third is you. Academia has done their job, that it's like as a direct communication between industry and students, you, right? Let's have that communication. Let understand that what exactly your aspiration, and let our industry, what is our expectations on that from your side. You have a proper energy, without any doubt. This generation is definitely something different from our generations. When we started 27, 28 years ago, we didn't have that all these resources. You have all these resources. You have internet. Our speed of internet was totally different what you have it. Our level of resources are totally different what you have it right now. You have all the ingredients to be into the superstars of tomorrow's, and definitely you are going to rock the next another 20-25 years, as rightly Dr. Madhuri said, that with like 2047 being as a developed nation, that from here the journey will start it on. And from your earlier like seniors for 1 or 2 years, or like the 5 years older than you, they have already done those particular parts for that. Still we are learning that, for being very honest, that as mentioned, that I'm pursuing my PhD after almost 27 years in industry. Then I got to know that I have to learn something more out of it. While doing many of the projects, many of the researches, many of the other activities, it just only shows that you have to keep update. Every 6 or 7 months later, we have a new technology, we have a new product. Even in my field of a cybersecurity, almost 700 different companies we have it yearly to add it on. If you just wanted to cross check that, there is a RSA conference in the United States of America. You see that after almost those particular companies which were there couple of years earlier were not there because they have not upgraded themselves, but the new companies have been formed out. What it does mean that you have to keep update yourself to be in the market. It means that your basics must be very strong. What are the challenges being as a student? You have to keep up in this particular cyber world. Just basics must be very clear, very strong. And on top of it, that whatsoever the technology, the trends, the scenarios will come into the market, you will keep it up that particular pace itself. I'll share a couple of use cases for that. Your energy is so lucrative that with Dr. Benuja, the company she's representing, TCS, the one project was there, TCS BSNL 4G. You might have heard about that. I have done the data center disaster recovery, 9 mini data centers. You won't believe it, only L1 resources, interns who just completed their BTech. And they have done exceptional jobs. Nothing senior, no one was there for just to execute that project. It was only 18 freshers who have executed that project, and we got an appreciation from TCS. It doesn't mean that you have to have a hell lot of an experience for that. It means that you have a dedication, you know, you have that zeal to learn out of it, and you want to do some exceptional job out of it. It means that you have to keep up that spirit within yourself, that I want to learn something new. And it's not like it's a small project. It's a big and it's a crucial one. And the entire country is vouching on that particular project. There are few of projects where entire the nation is looking at Delhi Safe City. Delhi Safe City designed by me for the NEC, that one Japanese company which is executing it. The most of the interns are there to looking into that the integration perspective on that part. It's not that the way you have to have a 3 or 4 years of an experience and then to get involved into it. It is that the way you have to learn. Yes, YouTube, that the best of the resources you have it. You just look into those use cases of the podcast series, and then to see that what maximum different use cases have to be integrated into, and the challenges are there. You just need to be curious. What are the parameters? How it happened, and the answers will automatically come to you. So my only at the intro mode of this way, that just keep learning and just don't stop anywhere. And life is a learning process. every time, everywhere, wherever that technology would be, that the life will let you learn how you have to be on the top of that. Very best of luck.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gaurav. So, technology and trends is the pick from what he said. Dear students, you have to keep up with the technology and the trends that are in market and keep learning. That's very important. Of course, something which is added up is zeal to learn and dedication is definitely should be in your blood. So that's one takeaway from me. I am sure that you are all noting down using your mobile for good reasons of putting across some good points and understanding what you have to do in future. Here was some tips from a technologist who is in cybersecurity. Now we will move on to an interesting turn on the table. Dr. Binuja Verma. She is principal scientist of TCS Life Sciences and Healthcare Group. She is involved in developing data and technology driven solutions for improving patients' outcome and work closely with hospitals. And again, I would say the experience is as comparable as Mr. Gaurav. She is having an experience, vast experience of around 25 plus years. And with her, she carries not only the industry experience, but lot of experience around research. So with that mixed combination, I would request Dr. Venuja to provide her views on how industry and academia need to come together, or basically what is that students need to do so that the gaps are less and they are ready for what industry requires. Over to you, please.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Madhuri and Dr. Pandey and Dr. Rai. It's fine. Good afternoon, everyone, and hello, young minds. It's nice to be in front of all of you. Also, feel quite humble to kind of share some of my experiences. I know you don't expect a scientist in TCS. I understand it's a technology company, one of the largest IT company. I mean, you have heard about TCS more than all of us put together, but yeah, I'm a scientist and I work closely with technologists. I work closely with engineers, IT engineers, cloud engineers, AI engineers, and you name it. So that is probably my experience that I'm going to speak here. Yeah, my background is I'm a biologist. Okay, when I started learning biology, I did a lot of lab experiments. I worked with pipettes, petri dishes, made you name it. I don't know, you would never ever heard about such things. Huge labs, massive experiments, 10 to 12 hours of experiments. At the end of the day, I get one data set. Maybe at the end of 1 month, I get one data set. That's all during my PhD and early scientific years have, made me look at. Now, I claim myself a biologist still, but I don't do any of those experiments. I have not touched a pipette for a decade. I do some training, that's a different set. I have a lab also, but I don't rely on that data set or I don't rely on them for my daily, whatever so called research, but I still look at the data. So, the so called biology has completely changed. It has become a data science. And it is nothing but technology which is driving it and technology which is enabling the kind of scientific discoveries that could be possible now. So where do we stand here? I mean, how do you understand? How does, because traditionally, how do we life science and healthcare as an industry? I represent that industry in TCS. Traditionally has been employing biotechnologists, researchers or people with scientific degrees of biological sciences. But where have we reached? Right now, what happens is, I'm not saying their domain expertise is still required, but science has become scientific engineering. That means most of the solutions in life sciences and healthcare are now technology driven. So how do we now do that? Of course, with engineers, technologists, with cloud engineers and so forth. So now we need to understand that biology is remaining, biotechnology education is going on in a traditional way, engineering education is going in a traditional way. How do we marry each other? Because right now, the industry needs both of them working together. I do understand it's difficult to achieve that in one person, but they have to come together. There is no other way out. Healthcare, you see the kind of digital adoption that happens in patient care. Everything is app based. Every clinician requires, softwares to work with. All data, image data, MRI scans, hematopathology scans. Everything is data. You cannot now expect the clinicians to look at thousands of data images to come on to some diagnosis. No. So how do we build solutions to healthcare to enable clinicians to make better decisions, to help patients to access healthcare, patients and caregivers, and also to overall hospital and healthcare system, how to actually ensure that the care is given. So that is where technology is coming in picture. You name it, AI, Gen AI, the changing phase of technology requires even engineers to actually understand some amount of cross-functional domains. These are all technology driven, but my advice is definitely you should pick up cross-functional domain understanding as well. And as scientists, we also should work with engineers, and we should work together. And I can tell you in my experience, I closely work with engineers. All my teammates, the average age of my team is 25. Let me frankly tell you, probably I'm the oldest actually in my team. And all of them are from technology background. All of them. Now, how to skill them, how to ensure that they also understand the domain is a challenge. We still are struggling, but it is something we have already started. How do we do it? There are a lot of ways. I will come to it later on, but it's an exciting era to be part to both doing science as well as engineering. I don't now differentiate these two disciplines at all. They are coming together in whatever you say, AI science or AI technology. Both of us are there together, working together. Even pharma, you look at the pharma. Pharma is a major industry in life sciences. You have understood how drug discovery have changed. The AI and Gen AI, earlier time it takes 10 years for a medicinal chemist to look at a molecule to ensure that this is a lead molecule with respect to a disease or target. I do not know whether you are familiar with how a pharma works. But then right now, can we wait for 10 years for a discovery to happen? And then they go through a preclinical studies in animal models to ensure that these discoveries actually is safe to use, toxicity data, all those things. And another few years or 3 to 5 years to go through the elaborate clinical trials before the drug is marketed. And post-marketing also there is data to be covered. Can we wait 20 years for a drug to come in? No. The current disease landscape does not require. You have seen how COVID-19 vaccines have come out. They have used technology, AI. There are so much flip sides of all those things when we are doing things without much rail gods. All those things will come in place. But science and technology and engineering have to be in it together. We have to bridge the gap. Academia will do what they will do best, and they have to do it like me. And industry will do what they want to do best. I wouldn't say they have to now interchangeably do what they were doing. No. There is a rigor in learning in academia, which is not there in industry. And there is a rigor in doing in industry, which is not there in academia. So how do we work together? That's a question we have to answer. And we have to do it. There's no other option but to do it. So I'll stop at this point and hand it back to Dr. Madhuri.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinuja. So I have the message from Dr. Vinuja. I am sure that many of you will actually echo with me. This is definitely a changing phase of technology, and what it calls for is cross-functional domain acceptance. That means it is not just stay focused with your eyes just on one of the technology or one of the discipline, but you really need to understand that working cross-sectoral is something that will definitely help you be more relevant and more adaptable, and that will improve your demand. So that's the message, one message that I have noted down from Dr. Vinuja. We'll move and give a slightly different flavor to our discussion as we go to Mr. Tarun Singhal. I will take the privilege of calling him as Professor Tarun Singhal, as he is in our campus and honorary professor of Amity University. Professor Tarun Singhal, again, don't get confused by the color of hairs, okay? We all are of one age, carrying loads of experience, and it is all of us are having experience more than 2 decades. So we bring in lot of, I would say, a mix of experience from, and we have seen generations and generations. I will not exaggerate if I say we have seen the change in generations, which is almost like 5 changes, and GN beta is now here. So we would like to share our experience. So from there, I take it over to Professor Tarun Singhal, who is Director, Business Development, Marketing and Branding at Sopra Steria, India. Very interestingly, if you know about, if I tell very shortly about him, is a dynamic global leader in business development, sales and marketing. He brings close to 3 decades of experience driving digital transformation across global market. And for you, the most interesting and attractive part would be that he is a TEDx speaker and ecosystem influencer. So from there, I hand over the mic to Professor Tarun Singhal to listen from him a different perspective of what is that this youth has to equip themselves. Technology, yes, but is there something ahead of technologies or complementing technologies that they should be equipped to be industry ready? Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Madhuri, and esteemed fellow panelists. Once again, good afternoon to you all. And good afternoon, all of you students. Wonderful to see all of you, and very quiet and unlike what I was when I was on that side of the table. Good to see disciplined crowd here. But it's always fun to have little indiscipline as well, because that's more important. So having said that, I think the fellow panelists have said enough. I would just focus on a couple of things. When we talk about technology, AI, industry, academia convergence, I would say it's not a rocket science. All of us sitting on this side of the table were there not too long ago, maybe 20, 30 years ago, but not too long ago, but we were there. And very soon, in the next couple of years, some of you will be on this side of the table. And so academia and industry cannot be separated. They are just one together. I mean, I am also the president of my Indian Navy Children's School alumni. And I've been there for 10 years as the president of the alumni. And when I go and meet the students, and now some of the students are part of the alumni in the academia as part of the extension of an academia in the industry now. So firstly, take that as a myth out of your heads that is something difficult. Now, what is very important is I would want to leave you with something interesting. While ma'am was speaking, I was making notes about it. If you remember next, because Dr. Madhuri spoke about next gen. If you just remember about next, NEXT. So N, network and collaborate. So build strong industry academia partnerships for innovation. Now, if you look into it, there are enough examples. My fellow panelist Gaurav gave few examples. If you look into, I was recently visiting the campus of IIM Ahmedabad, and I found there is a center of excellence from TCS there, a very large center of excellence from TCS there. You go to IIT Delhi, there is a very large center of innovation with IBM there, which is also TCS as well. And then if you look into the government, They have formed Atal Incubation Lab, which is Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development, and lot of universities and schools and colleges are part of that. And that's where it is very important that the strong industry academia partnerships for innovation should come into it. Then from N, I move to E. E is for embracing emerging tech. Now, please, as Dr. Verma said, stay ahead with AI, IoT, cybersecurity, and most importantly, also with green computing. I think it's also very important. I think 5 times, if I remember, Dr. Madhuri said that please use your mobiles for good. So while you're not using paper and using your mobile, you are contributing to green ecosystem here. Moving to X, which you will understand is X factor skills. So develop a mix of tech expertise and soft skills expertise to be industry ready. I always say that technical things, technical skills, it's very easy to remember. You can be trained on that. What is more important is soft skills. Unless you work upon them, it will be very difficult for you to be able to successfully thrive in the industry. Last but not the least, T is think beyond. So foster creativity, adaptability, and a problem solving mindset for the future. So that makes it NEXT as next. Now, where it is important is just to close my remarks is bridge the gap between the knowledge and the practical application. Everybody today is talking about AI, and if I would stand here, say that I don't bother about AI. AI doesn't exist. Some of you will laugh at it. Some of you will say, what rubbish is Tarun talking about? I would say people are scaring each other that with AI, there'll be job losses. No, absolutely not. I am happy to have debate sessions on that. I openly, vocally say that creativity is human. Nobody can beat that creativity as human. Execution is AI. We use computers today, we use tech today to increase upon the speed and quality. But nothing can change what human mindset, human brain can create about it. So with that, I would take a pause and I would hand it back to Dr. Madhuri and wishing you all the very best in your academic journey and hoping to see you very, very soon on this side. As Sopra Steria, we are globally one of the leaders in digital transformation, spread over 30 countries, 60,000 people globally. In India, we are spread across 4 locations. In Noida, which is the headquarters in India, we are just 10 minutes away from you. And we have had students of Amity coming there as intern, and also after completing your program, coming and working with us. And I must say that Amity produces very, very good level of students. So thank you so much, Amity University, for that.
Thank you, Professor Tarun. So, dear students, here you have got the perspective, and I'm sure you must have paid a lot of attention on the next network and collaborate, embracing emerging technologies, X factor skills, and think beyond. That's an amazing extension of next. And on this, your generation, if they work, definitely they would be putting the technologies in your hands. So with that, may I request you all to let me know how many of you are from second year? Are you all listening to me? How many of you are from second year? Okay, yeah. How many of you are from AI background? Great. How many from third year? How many from third year? So those who have not raised their hand, can I know from which year you are from? First year. So that is something that's interesting. You can see the combination of the students that we have. And now here I would like to request Professor J.K. Rai, sir, for the benefit of the students and for the benefit of the panelists to just very quickly let us know about how academia as a puzzle has opened up to fit in industry and get ready. So for the students, the message is that you should know that you are already in the place where we have ways to get industry ready. So that we will hear from Professor Rai sir, that how the students, it is very important for first year and second year students, which form the majority part of our participants. Dear students, please understand that as you move on, you already have the areas where you can get onto collaborating, networking with industry. So that is what you should take it. And then when you are going on to the industry, you should take all the advices of what industry is looking for so that you choose where you want to be. Cybersecurity, healthcare, AI, digital transformation, data science, and whatnot, right? You can be there if you understand how you can step on it. So over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. My dear students, before I talk of the opportunities or how you should approach, I will put up a case study in front of you. And this will be a case study from academia. And it is related with the SPIN. So we had a student, Dr. Joy Jeet. Okay. So when I say Dr. Joy Jeet, he is now Dr. Joy Jeet, but as a first year student, he was Joy Jeet, and he used to very enthusiastically participate during a SPIN. And if I remember correctly, those days it was not hybrid, completely offline, and we used to have around 30 to 40 international speakers and around 10 to 15 industry speakers. And he makes sure that he interacts with each one of them, either during high tea, during session, after the session, during lunch, after the event is over. He will talk to each and everyone. So right from his first year, he was enthusiastic. And he took all his opportunities, which I will tell you what you should go for. But we get motivation only from the success of the people. Otherwise, there are a lot many case studies which nobody is interested in. So after his BTech, or before he completed his BTech, he was offered straightaway admission into PhD program by University of Hull, which was fully funded by Ericsson. And after his BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering, he did his PhD straight away. Within 3 years, he completed that also. So the opportunities are a lot. There are some opportunities which are formally defined in your syllabus, and particularly I am happy to see a lot many first year students. You can utilize this. So if I start in the reverse order, which is forcefully there, after third year, they go for industry internship, like the Tarun Singhal was also mentioning. We have the students there. But nobody stops you from working on any problem or understanding any problem, even in first year or second year. And the good thing that has happened after COVID is many of the opportunities are coming online. We do have collaborations with many of the industries where we are training the students for their skills online. You can do it anytime. Even AICT supports that. So you can start exploring from today itself, develop your area of interest, but it will be too early to narrow down yourself on one area. So you should focus on 2 or 3 areas of your interest before you finally decide what is your actual passion. So looking at a movie, it's easy to find that you should follow the passion, but in actual practice, to decide what is your passion is really a challenge. So you should work on 2 or 3 areas of your discipline, settle down by second or third year, start looking at the problems, start discussing with the industry people. There will be lot many opportunities, and then the world is there for you to explore. So you can start working from here itself. And the example that I was giving, there are many such examples who have started writing research papers right from first year itself. And by the time he ended, and those days research publications were not very mandatory kind of thing, he were having more publications, maybe around 5 to 6 publications at that instant of time itself. And now also we have many focused students who are working. They are very much ambitious. They are clear on their goals. They are working. So you can explore all the opportunities. That's all from my side. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, message was for the student, of course, like first year students and second year students, you have ample number of opportunity where you get to fit the puzzle of getting networked with industry, and then it is up to you how you would take it. And the message was also for the panelists that we are very flexible in terms of collaborating and working with you. So if you have any ideas on what are the innovative ways of collaborating, we look forward so that our students can take advantage of it. Now we move on to the second round of discussion, where there is just a question that will be thrown across to the panelists, and we request a short answer now. That would be again bringing out what are the strategies that students should be adopting for getting industry ready. So we'll start again with Mr. Gaurav. Gaurav, it's really nice to see the diverse project that you have worked on. What is your message for the students? How early should they start thinking about the area of their interest, and what is that they should work on it so that by the end, when they are going to be out of campus, they are kind of ready and aligned along industry?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. I think it's a quite relevant in the ongoing era of confusions and conflictions. For my advice to all of you, that majority of you are from the first or the second year itself. Keep it very simple. Don't get confused with the big technical jargons, right? As I said, that after every 6 months or a year later, there is a new technology, new trend, new generation of technologists are coming in. So it's a keep the slow pace on your regular courses, that whatever is happening, as my understanding, my personal opinion, and whatsoever I have seen so far for in and around with my colleagues, my friends, my mentor as well, that as much as your basic will be strong, the basics, once you will make it as a strong enough, that the whatsoever the rest of the building you have to build up for your career will be strong to that level, right? These technologies or these trends will come and go, but once you have that fair understanding of that how these the different building blocks can be worked out across those the baselines, that creates some USP out of it. Don't get confused out of it that I'm in a very hurry that first year I should decide it whether I should go with the AI, with the Gen AI, with the IoTs, with the OT security, with the cyber security, with the application development. Let me give you a very small example, and it's just making it very short for that. My brother-in-law, who was into software development, and initially he just wanted to make a fun. It's a very, very lighter moment that he always used to say that, networks and cyber security is nothing. That it's like as that, some more like as that, that few of a ठेकेदार वाला काम, that वो तारे लगाना है, surveillance करना है, and then that these things had to work across. After 25 years of his own experience in software development, he moved into cybersecurity. Right? So life is a learning process. You never know that how your life will land up at later stage for that. So take it as a very small, granular steps, and then obviously you will take it into that mode where you will find that as much as your interest will come into those technologies, your trends, and then the word is coming back to you. As rightly Professor Singhal said that you have to be on your feet. That you have to take one step at a time. You have all the resources. Like even many of the times that the content or the information which is available to you is right or wrong, even you have to decide it. But you can't decide it only what I'm saying. If Gaurav Ranade has said something right now on this panel, it doesn't mean that I'm 100% right on that. You have to verify, you have to validate by your resources. This is more like as a research. This is more like as that the 2 or 3 different resources you have to keep validate on that particular part, and then to say yes, this is my understanding, and this is what exactly, as Dr. Binoja also said, that it's like as a lab practices. There are certain case studies, that the data sets you have to validate on that part. This is where you have to work on. As much as you will work on those particular parameters, you'll get your success.
So thank you so much, Mr. Gaurav. I think the message is again very clear. Foundation is the most important part. Putting building blocks on it is the next. And then, of course, deciding on your interest is subsequent, as Professor Rai also put it across, that deciding exactly what is your passion is the most difficult part. So you have to be slowly working on it. So which means that what you're learning in classroom is one of the most important aspect, because if you have your foundation right, then this technology which is changing day in day out, you will be able to catch up with it. So rather than getting confused with the jargons, with the trends that are there and trying to catch up with all of them, I think it's better to focus on your foundation and then choose one of them subsequently. So thank you, and we move on to Dr. Binuja. The question to you is that, technology is there. Okay, some of them have want to grab cybersecurity, some want to be data scientist, or some want to be learning AI, LLM, and whatnot. They have this all technologies with them. But what is your view on the sectorial application? So it is very, we have seen nowadays that it is not the technology, but what pulls you up also is the sector selection. One is technology, the other is sector selection, like healthcare. Healthcare is one very, very important sector where you have to apply the technology. So, what is the role of sectorial selection when the students are preparing themselves to get industry ready? That's a question for you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Madhu. Quite a relevant one, I would say. I cannot, so of course, my experience have primarily been human health and diseases and life sciences research. Of course, I have briefly, due to my, I've been working in genomics and multiomics for some time. I don't know whether you've heard about it. Most of you have. It's pretty common terminology. So I've also moved into use of these technologies in terms of environment, sustainability, etc. a little bit, but primarily it has been a human health oriented. So I can talk about from this perspective. Definitely, sector is very important. Also, it also depends on what you also want to do. Okay. I mean, I understand it's too early for you to think about it. I still feel go with what Mr. Gaurav has said is classroom teaching is important. Build the relationships, the teaching, or learning, understanding, the learning aspirations in this classroom with the teachers and your friends. This is the most important thing. I mean, of course, some of us early, I don't know why I chose to look at human aspect of biology. I don't think I have done it quite late. I have done it quite early. During my graduation itself, I was very clear when I was learning chemistry, I liked human aspect of it. Then choose to biochemistry. So some of us can take the decision a little early, but I would still not worry about it because it all depends on what is the first few projects that you get at. Maybe it was successful, you got it interested, maybe the teacher was good, it excited you. Sometimes it's a teacher, very simple. I had a very good chemistry teacher who taught me very good biochemistry. That was very clear, nothing other than that. It is as simple as that. The teacher excited me, made me read more. I'm still standing on that legacy. So it could be different for different people. But use this classroom experience, use this networking which the university is bringing in. I would still suggest you, considering the uncertain times of broadening areas, technologies, maybe you can also attempt, if you feel that, you like to learn something cross-functional, attend something like a Coursera or Udemy, self-paced learning. Try to understand whether some of the things are useful to you, or you can apply that in your current learning. Then focus on it for some time. Don't be very rigid. Do some application-based projects also. I believe those experiments, what we call it experiments or lab-based experiments for you also. There are a lot of hands-on projects, Make as much as mistakes and learn. If you still like to make mistakes and still like to learn on that area, I would say you're lucky. Some of us would lose interest. If I make a mistake, keep on making mistake, let me go out of it. But some of you still want to be there and solve it. I would say that's a win-win situation. So keep experimenting with these things. Do some hands-on, network with your help of teachers to pick up some industry or real life use case projects. I know some of your eminent teachers have their collaborations where they can do it. Fail it. It's okay. Do it. I've failed most of my experiments. Even today, if my lab is doing something, there'll be, if you do 10, 8 are going to be failed experiments. It's okay. Learn from the mistakes. Learn, actually, I believe, do mistakes. Learn it with your hands. And if you still feel you want to learn more, it's okay. And for some time, you can also move. Of course, I've been in academics for years. Years. Nobody thought I would leave academics. But now I'm sitting in industry, doing a lot of similar things, but I'm happy. I'm doing a lot of new things, which I could never even think whether I could do in academics. But academics was my safe bet. I really enjoyed every minute of working with students. Now it's more a formalized relationship, but it's fine. I do 5 projects, 3 of them are even, I would say, shelved by TCS, saying that no more funding or failed. It's okay. It's still fine. So, self-learning, use a classroom, as well as do hands-on. A little early, start hands-on. That's my message.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinuja. So, experiment, mistake, learn. That's the message from Dr. Vinuja. Any sector, any technology. So that's the message that she wants to put across. Over to Professor Tarun. I will catch up with the first expansion of N, network and collaborate. Need more elaboration on that for the students. As you see, the hall is more with first year students, right? What would you like to tell students more on how to improve networking and collaboration, which Professor Rai has already given a case study. With the networking and collaboration, how Dr. Joyji Chatterjee, I am sure that you're all noting down this name, the names on the dais, the names of the case studies, and you will go and network with them. Now, how do you network with them? That is what we are going to hear from Professor Tarun Singhal. And here is again a case study which you will have to solve it for us. It is that, they have networked. Suppose my students have networked and they have reached out to Professor Tarun. Now, how is that? And then they reach out to Professor Tarun for internship or some experience in industry. Now, what is that why would you answer them and why would you not answer them? And what is that you would look in for finally taking them in your team for training them? So this is something that you need to solve this case study for my students so that, they know how to approach and make this bridging happen between industry and academia. Yeah, Professor Tarun.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madhuri. I would make it very simple that networking, collaboration, and upskilling is a continuous process. It starts from the time you're born, and it is lifelong process. It never stops. So if you do it as a course, it will not happen. It should come from inside within you. And we have a bunch of people who are introverts, some could be extroverts, but then you need to find your own ways of doing it. That's the first thing I want to just make a statement. Second is I am also I was nominated by the government of UK as the first Indian on the Industrial Advisory Board of University of Sheffield, which is especially their engineering and innovation center. Now, what change we brought into the University of Sheffield as part of this kind of academia and industry collaboration is that we got a survey sent out to the students and the industry leaders and try and see how we can match it, and you can coach or guide them during the whole process. So, for example, to make it simple, I am currently mentoring 2 students from University of Sheffield in my personal capacity, in my extra time, on how they can do better and move forward. So, like I took the ownership of two, there could be other industry leaders who took and this is completely non-commercial. This is pro bono. This is how we try to help the students because everybody needs the right lighting path. Everybody needs that one-to-one collaboration, one-to-one guidance on what can be done. Because if I see you're about 50, 70 of you, each one of you is a bright star here. Each one of you are going to be super successful, no doubt about it. Somebody will be starting something of your own, somebody will be as part of the industry, somebody would be doing different things. So there is no doubt anybody will fail here. Everybody will succeed because that's how if you've come such a long way, there is no reason why you will not be successful in future. So with that, coming on to your specific question, Dr. Madhuri, that what I would look if somebody has to be part of my team or my organization, they're two different questions because if I look at my organization, we are one of the leading tech organizations, so we would need a different skill set. If we are looking at my immediate team, which is more on branding, marketing, communications, that's again a specific skill set which is required. But at the heart of all of it, what is most important is your passion. How much passionate you are to do that particular thing. So, my son, who studied from the UK in computer systems engineering, and is now working as a data scientist with National Grid in the UK for last close to 2 years. He called me up a couple of weeks back that, did you read about DeepSeek? So I did read, but I was not too much familiar about it. So I became ignorant and I said that, please tell me more about it. And we had that conversation and where he explained to me what DeepSeek is about and how it has put his foothold into the ecosystem. So if the two people can curate or make DeepSeek, why can't one of you do that? It's nothing difficult, right? And it's again the thought process behind it, the thing about it. And the reason I brought an example of my son is that he's more updated than I am today in this ecosystem. And that is a message for all of you. While you are using mobile for good, please keep yourself updated on what is happening around you, how you can take things differently, how you can think beyond, how you can be more creative about it. So in our team, we recently organized an internal competition on creativity. We said that, okay, we will develop something on AI and then we will give some of our graphic designers to make it as from their own side of it. Of course, the human side won it, not the AI, because AI can only think limited, but humans can think much, much broad. So my suggestion to each one of you would be that don't limit your thinking. Think as big as you can and dream as big as you can. There is no dearth of limit. And even, I can say it in an open platform, I'm happy to meet some of you in person as well, and I'm happy to coach and mentor some of you as well in my personal capacity. More than happy to do that.
Thank you, Professor Tarun. So here is an example of how industry is working to lend a hand to academia, and academia is working to reach out to industry. There are many examples of industry academia collaboration, and my dear students, it is for you to take the advantage of these collaborations, and we can actually get innovative on the ways of collaborating. Now, before I move on to the final round, which is fire round, I call it, May I request Professor Dr. Pandey sir to kindly put across views. Okay, so I think it's just an end before the fire. So we'll have a fire round, which will just be a very quick one. So before that, we would want to hear from you on this of what is your message, particularly for the students, and some quick tips or message for industry of academia industry handshaking. So
Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. And I was just going through, although I joined a bit late after the break. So, what I just came to know about the conversation recently that was happening for how the foundation, fundamentals, and the collaborations matters for all of you. Now, there is no doubt about the fundamentals. You have to have very, very strong fundamentals, and it is a law of nature as well. The more solid fundamentals or foundation you have, you can build more good things over it. And this applies for everything. As we have seen, we have observed, experienced it many times. And for all of you students, although we are visiting to your classes occasionally and coming to telling you all these things, the first thing is when the industry leaders like you have right now in front of you, making collaboration networking is very easy for you. Now let me share with you, if you directly go and you want to chase to them, you are not going to get any appointment of them. Tarun, I hope I am all right. So now the people in front of you, and they are ready to network with you, they are ready to guide you, and these are the people, those who are going to be role models for you when you are going for the industry or any professional world. So networking, fortunately for MIT students, networking is easy for you. And there are n number of success stories when the people, the student, they took their own initiatives for networking all these delegates, all these industry leaders for their career span. We used to have all the international conferences, maybe 4 or 5 every year in MIT School of Engineering Technology. And you put together university also, we have 15, 16 such international conferences across the university. Every conference will have such type of industry sessions, networking sessions, where we always give you a chance to ask the questions, to make the network, ready to share their social media connections to you. Through them, through these connections, you can connect, you can join with them. And then make your platform your own. Now, what is the requirement? What is the gap point again? Gap is coming many times. Some is telling gap cannot be zero, gap can be this. But where is the gap? Gap is we are not at all working for that. For a student, I'm talking about. Right now, taking these type of sessions seriously is definitely going to help you. As I said, there are a number of stories, success stories in past for academics, those who want to pursue for higher education, and for the industry also. One of our student, which I can remember right now, they have taken in such of the sessions, they have taken one idea about how to make his own company. And now he is a successful businessman. What you should have an idea. So fundamentals, idea, and as Sir Tarun has rightly said, can we think about, if you go beyond that, can we think about having our own products? Can we think about having our own operating system, our own databases, our own such products which, like DeepSeek has given example, ChatGPT, rather than we are consuming that, using that, can we develop it? So the thought process should go to this direction. And for the young students, it is easy to do. I must say now, And I used to tell to every such forum, each and everyone who has this potential, everyone you can do, all you can do. But again, it's a matter of how you think about it. When your thought process go towards it, and how you are taking advantage of such type of events, such type of initiatives that we are putting forward for you. So my suggestion, my message to all of you this afternoon will be, now let us understand what all the skills will be required, as said in the beginning itself, along with the degree that you are pursuing, along with the program that you are pursuing, because the world is right now looking for some additional skills that makes you directly fit for the industry. Let us find out these skills. We are ready here to help you out in that. For that, we are actively, aggressively, regressively, we are collaborating with the industry. And such industries, if I name few, then we have with this ServiceNow, we have with Salesforce, we have with AWS, we have with Cisco, we have with many more. And these are the names which, of course, are the leaders in their areas. Take advantage of it. It is for you. AWS, we have the AWS Academy in our institution. Be part of it in terms of taking advantage of getting extra skills. We have the ServiceNow and Salesforce products that they're offering. Just Google it. What all the how your horizon will be getting widened with this Google, with the Salesforce or the ServiceNow things that we are giving you free of cost due to the collaborations we have. Take advantage of Cisco Academy we have here in our campus. And every year, Cisco company themselves, they take the students for. You will get, and now the chances will be getting manifold. So now it's up to you now. You have these all options in front of you. How you are taking it, it will definitely going to decide the career and is going to decide how your career is shaping up. So this will be my message again, clearing your strengthening and your fundamentals and taking advantage of all these facilities we have in campus.
Thank you so much, sir. Students, are you there? I cannot hear you. Are you there? All of you? So we are also with you. We know you are tired now, so we will conclude the session, but it's going to be on fire now. Do you have all your mobile? Yes. Please note down the terms that are going to come to you. That's going to be one word, which is very important. Google it around, find out more, and I'm sure that it will be of great help to you. Again, a help to bridge between the academia and industry. So here you go. This is the final takeaway that we will have from the panelists, though in all the rounds we had some or the other takeaways, but now going to be a final impactful takeaway where I would request the panelists to provide with a term or one word, one impactful word on either the next gen technologies or the industry readiness which my students need to work on. So I will start from myself. My dear students, are you all set? Upskilling, future skill prime. That's the word for you. Request you all to take a note of it. It's the term and the upskilling platform from NASCOM. Please look in for yourself and then you know the world to explore. Move on to Mr. Gaurav.
I think from the cybersecurity perspective, it's a CTEM. It's a continuous threat exposure management. You have to keep look for it. It's going to be one buzzword, which is a combination, lethal combination of AI, Gen AI, as well as a predictive AI.
Yeah, as usual, I'm going to talk about health, which is either personalized medicine or precision health. Of course, this is how clinical data and biological data is how coming or brought in together, including image, AI, everything to take a decision which is tailor-made for a patient, or either to manage a disease, treat a disease, or even at times for wellness, that is prevent disease, especially lifestyle disease. This is very important, and this is, as long as human beings are alive, it's going to be the most important field on earth.
Thanks, all of you. I already spoke about next in the beginning, NEXT, but I can just say that I mean, students, just stay curious, stay adaptable, and always be open to new learning opportunities. I think that's what is important. That's just from my side.
Raisa, a closure note from you. Yes.
It's integration of artificial intelligence with other application areas. Since I'm from electronics, I'll tell you semiconductors, 6G network infrastructures or 5G network infrastructures, and end devices.
Okay, so I think all of you have taken a note of it, and with this, a last one coming from Mr. Gaurav. Yeah.
It could be a funny as well, but just go through with the SPIN2025, right? It's a SP, signal processing. So process your signals in your brain, right? And integrate all the networks all across. That's it.
That's a great punchline. So you are, this industry forum concludes with a relevant one. I think, see, I have set the stage on the fire, right? Everyone wants to speak. Yeah. Oh. So dear students, I think you have already noted it down. Future Skill Prime, C10, Precision Health. Next, integration of AI with electronics sector like semiconductor, 6G. So that's coming in from here. Now, with this, as we conclude, may I request the audience to put forth any question that you have for the panelists. So we will take two questions. Please let us know that you were with us. If you ask
raise
one
hand
question,
and then mic will come to you. Raise hand. Otherwise, we'll make it mandatory for all to ask questions.
I think don't be shy. So this is the first lesson for networking. If you're shy, you will never be able to do that. Let me share something personal with all of you. Though I have not filed in any of the book of records, but I have the record of selfies with celebrities of over 1,000 celebrities globally. You can talk about different country presidents, prime ministers, cricketers, Bollywood actors, European actors, and so on. And if I was shy, if I would have been thinking कि ये कैसे होगा, कैसे पूछना है, क्या करना है, तो हो चुका होता. So I don't know if that gives some of you extra energy or to ask any questions. If not, we can then do it during the break. I mean, no pressure.
yeah, sure. Yeah. So are we having one question at least in the room? Okay. So with that, may we request to conclude the session formally. Thank you, dear panelists. It was in fact really great.
Thank you to our panelists for their insightful responses.
Dear students, last 5 minutes. Please be seated. Last 5 minutes.
As a token of appreciation, we would now like to present mementos to our distinguished panelists. May you please step forward to receive the mementos. May I request Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Pandey sir and Dr. Madhurima ma'am to kindly do the honors. First, we have Professor Tarun. I would like Dr. J.K. Rai, sir, to please join. First, we have Professor Tarun Singhal, Director Business Development, Marketing and Branding, Sopra Steria, India. Next, we have Mr. Gaurav Ranade, CTO, Netpolian, India. Next, we have Dr. Binuja Verma, Principal Scientist, TCS. We sincerely thank each of you for being part of this forum and sharing your invaluable knowledge with us. To conclude today's forum, I now invite Ms. Anju Khanna ma'am, Assistant General Manager, Corporate Resource Center, to deliver the vote of thanks.
I'll take only 5 minutes of yours. I extend my profound gratitude to our Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir for his unmatched vision and unwavering commitment to creating platforms that foster intellectual growth and innovation. Sir, your guidance continues to inspire and empower us to achieve the excellence in our endeavors. We are deeply indebted to our distinguished Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan sir, for whose visionary leadership and unwavering encouragement have transformed MIT University into a beacon of academic and professional brilliance on the global stage. To our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balwinder Shukla ma'am, I express my heartfelt thanks for her steadfast guidance, inspiring leadership and relentless pursuit of academic and institutional excellence. Your resolute dedication ignites the spirit of innovation and ambition within all of us. A special note of gratitude to our own Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Pandey sir for his invaluable contribution, strategic oversight, and unwavering support in shaping this event into a resounding success. Your commitment to fostering intellectual discourse has been truly instrumental, sir. I would like to convey my sincere appreciation to our esteemed industry veterans and distinguished panelists who have graced us with their presence and enriched this occasion with their profound insight expertise. Your contribution have elevated the discourse and left us with an indelible impact on all the participants. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Professor Dr. J.K. Rai sir, for Conference Chair, SPIN2025 and Head of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, for providing the Corporate Resource Center with this prestigious platform to host these distinguished veterans from the corporate world and felicitate the exchange of invaluable insights. My heartfelt thanks to my own boss, Professor Dr. Madhuri Kumari ma'am, Deputy Director Placements and Industry Relations, for her unwavering dedication, meticulous planning, and exceptional leadership, which has been the vital to the seamless execution of this event. Yes, indeed, a big round of applause now. I am profoundly grateful. I am profoundly grateful to my own team, Alok, Priyanka, whose tireless efforts, unwavering dedication, and exceptional collaboration have been the cornerstone of this event success. As a proud member of this dynamic team, I deeply appreciate the hard work and the perseverance displayed by each one of the individual. I am also thankful and gratitude to the faculty members, administrative staff, and the organizing team for their unyielding commitment and the behind-the-scenes efforts that ensure the flawless execution of this event. A special acknowledgement to our media team for their unwavering support and dedication in capturing and showcasing the essence of this event. Their efforts have been instrumental in amplifying our reach and ensuring the impactful representation of our initiatives. Additionally, heartfelt thanks to our IT team, whose technical expertise and seamless coordination played a crucial role in delivering a smooth and engaging experience for all. Finally, I wish to highlight the contribution of my student volunteers, whose energy, emphasis, dedication, and unwavering enthusiasm have added vibrancy to the occasion. Their tireless efforts have been exemplary, and they deserve a thunderous round of applause, students. Please. Should there be any individual or contribution I have unintentionally overlooked, I extend my sincere apologies and deepest gratitude. To each one of you present here today, I thank your engagement, participation, and support, which have made this event truly remarkable. Thank you, one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.